Hi everyone, today I am visiting the Museum of London, one of my favorite spots to visit whenever I go to London. Every time I go to London, I cannot return back to the States without stopping here at least once. So our first stop in this museum is London before London, aka the prehistoric era, when everything was not civilized and primitive. The spot right here documents the history of the River Thames. You can pause this video anytime you want to look at stuff. I didn't always love history. I blame my middle and high school history teacher, who was also my drama instructor, for really getting me into history. And we move from the Stone Age into the Bronze Age. Many years before the Tower Bridge, they had this, which was reportedly London's first bridge. Here come the Romans. Remember, the city of London itself was founded by the Romans. A giant comic all on this wall. Take a look at this now. A horse's skeleton. Creepy. Look, it's the wall. Ruins! I love stone structures like these. They are absolutely beautiful. So these right here are listening devices. One of them is remote because I'm listening to it right now. And they're showing a documentary on how to make a Roman dish right here. Just like the visitor center at Stonehenge, all of this is so much to take in times a million. And that's one of the reasons why I love it so much. The Roman rule has ended and Londonium gets abandoned. Here come the Saxons. So we studied pre-Roman London, Roman London, and now it's time to study Saxon London. This is a Saxon hut, I believe, that you can actually step into and visit. Wow. So right now I'm just trying to look for some info and some bits and pieces and materials on Alfred the Great, who I believe was London's first major ruler. Right behind me, you can watch a mini documentary about the Black Death. Another reason why I love this museum is all the short films you can watch while you're here. Let's see. Hello there, Henry. Good to see you today. Get one of these ancient books. Back then, there were no official spellings for words. You could spell them however you wanted. Fire! Seriously though, the Fire of London is one of my most favorite sections of British history. Now here's a part I'm into. There he is, the bard himself. And behold, his theater. or rather a model of it. Had a bit of an epiphany while I was looking at this part just now. I definitely want to read up on British history more. Before toaster ovens, we had these as portable ovens. Excuse me while I go study the fire. I don't know why I'm so fascinated by this. Now we're heading down to the galleries of modern London. This is when things really start to get interesting. Word of advice: do not vlog while you're walking downstairs without holding the rail. Here's a prison cell you can actually walk into. And behold, the door that goes with it. Hope I'm using the right word for this, but I just love dioramas. Look at this gorgeous antique clock. And more books to, well, read about, of course. Because what else can you do with a book? So, right behind me is a very interesting spot to visit. It's a replica of a pleasure garden. Oh boy, here comes my favorite spot in the museum, the Victorian Walk. Let's take a walk through Victorian London, one of my favorite history periods. This is basically an area that is a great big replica of what shops in Victorian London were like during these times.
No, this is the post office.
Of course, here's where you got your medicine. As well as some tasty crackers. And other things. Join our Christmas club and provide for a happy Christmas. Taylor's shop. Stationer's shop. The post box. Now we're getting to more modern times, the 1850s to the 1850s to the 1940s, I meant to say. Primitive automobile. A phone box. And the history of telephones right here. Now it's time for 1950s to today. Here's where everything is basically more recognizable. Oh! Time to study another one of my favorite parts of history. Swinging London. Time to study some technology. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer due. Playtime. This is basically this section of the museum is the playtime section. It was playtime for children in the 1950s. Let's see. Here we go. This is an old 1950s show, apparently. Back then, television was a newfangled thing. Not like today where you can see it everywhere. And take a look at these.
Maybe don't put this in there.
Seeing those children back there play with all those old-fashioned toys is just so cute and touching. Kids are too obsessed with screens and technology these days, I'm not gonna lie. Oh boy, now it's time for tea. So it's all over the Museum of London that they're actually planning on building a new Museum of London in another part of the city. I don't know where it is. I'll have to ask the staff a little bit more about it, but I'm really curious as to what this could turn into. I can't believe what I'm experiencing here. They now have an exhibit open to the cauldron of the 2012 Olympics, which took place in London. I'm like about to cry right now. This is so beautiful. One gripe I admittedly have about this place is sometimes it's a little confusing to get to the entrance. But other than that, I recommend this place.